Good morning, guys. It's Monday morning, Monday the 30th of July, and this is actually the third time I'm recording this. For some reason, it just won't take, so let's see if it does now. I wanted to do a very quick overview of just income generators that are setting up over the market at the moment, and that there's some good possibilities this week. So we have, on the euro, for example, we've got a reasonable downtrend. I have a concern we have broken the previous high, which is a warning sign, as you know. So we probably will have a pullback to a certain level, but let's just have a quick look here in terms of what price action is actually bumping up against the 10, the 20, and the 50. So we may well have price actually just pulling back towards the 50 and then continuing down. So I've placed an income generator order myself here and I'm using I'm using the white envelope as my target, which is the 2101, and I'm going to leave that target there. So I'm not going to adjust it. I'm just going to take profit if profit hits that line. And of course, I'm watching the weekly because, of course, we have that possibility that price is indeed potentially going to bounce here and go long. You don't need to be too concerned about why it's going to go long, just that it may. If it does end up going long, the reasons for it going long will become clear after the fact, such as a weaker US dollar, a stronger US dollar with a weaker euro. Business starts to flow into Europe because it's cheaper to do business there. Then we get more jobs, and then we get growth, and so on and so forth. So you don't really need to think about why, but let's just see if that happens. Interesting that this bar here engulfs the previous two bars, and that's an indecision, that's a doji bar. So there's a lot going on right now. So I'm going to place an order to go short here. We may just have this continue to go upwards. This may be the beginning of a reversal. So there is that. Cable is going predominantly sideways. This is not tradable at the moment. Yen. Yen, I am concerned about intervention, but I do believe that we have a bit of room to run before they intervene, and until that time, we are good to go, I guess, until they do intervene. So there's a bit of indecision here, and it's coming close to this level, which is why. Because once we start entering below that level, we start hitting points at which the Japanese will intervene to weaken their currency against the US dollar because it affects their export market, and obviously they're an export-dependent country. So we have a big bar over here. Let's see what happens with this, but that's a potential one to have a look at. Swissy is the inverse of the euro, is looking to go long. So that again may be an interesting one to take. Australian dollar, we are bullish. High highs, high lows, looking to break new high. Wait for a pullback on this. It looks as though we are going to break this high. So that's good, which means we should have a run up to there. So let's wait for some pullback on this and an income generator long on that, looking good. Kiwi was ranging sideways, has now broken outside of that range. Let's see if it maintains that. And CAD is great, not really trending that much, but just something worthwhile. There's no setup there today. Euro cable is trending downwards. It's a very slow mover. And there's some outside bars here. There's indecision happening here, so be careful of this. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And of course, it's just hit this previous level here, so we're not quite sure what it's gonna do to get out of that. But yeah, we keep watching it. Let's see what happens there. Euro yen is, yep, there's a setup, lower highs, lower lows. Setup here. I've placed an order to go short here. The only thing that should get in our way is intervention. So we'll be prepared for that. That'll be a 1% loss, but it could happen 3 weeks from now, and I don't see why we shouldn't just trade it in the meantime. Euro Aussie, trade call we made last week, is doing really well. Euro Kiwi, obviously triggered off here. It still looks like it's trending low. Let's just see if it's broken this level. Yep, I would say we've just broken that level. That's a good sign. Hopefully we may potentially pull back, but we should carry on over the long run. Euro CAD. Let's see, interesting, always sideways for such a long time, and has now broken down and broken below this level. So very interesting to see what's going to happen there. But yep, and it's trending, so perhaps just continue trading with it. Pound yen, sideways, not really that happy with that, so let's leave that out of this. Pound Swissy is looking potentially bullish. We have an outside engulfing bar here. and it is bouncing off the 20, so potentially there's no setup today, but that's something to keep an eye on. I do think the Swiss are going to want this to continue getting stronger, so let's see what happens there. Pound CAD sideways. This is untradable, and obviously I've taught you guys not to trade sideways markets. This is quite interesting. Pound Aussie is looking to go short as well, just broken through there, so that's looking quite nice. We haven't hit an all-time low yet on Pound Aussie, so that is something to keep an eye on. There'll be a level there and possibly something a bit further down, so we still have some room to go. Let's see. Pound Kiwi is looking again very similar to Pound Aussie. No setup though today. Swiss yen, yep, there's a setup. I placed an order. So you'll see there's a couple on the yen pairs and a couple on the euro pairs. So the next key level is probably down here. So we've got a bit of room to run. And let's see what happens there. Bouncing off the 20 moving average, we should be good. And let's see. CAD Swissy. Looks bullish to me. Nice, really nice trend heading up, bouncing off the 10-day moving average. That was a setup over here. If you adjusted your order to match this bar, then you'd be triggered in by now. Otherwise, obviously, you should not really have an order placed on this, but I'm just indicating that there is no valid IG setup on this. But yeah, you may want to go long on this at some point. Maybe perhaps looking at pivot long trades as an example. CAD yen. Sideways market completely. So let's stay out of that. I mean, the weekly just looks shocking. That's it. Not really tradable. Kiwi Swissy looking bullish, nice and long. That was a trade call we made last week. I think there was another one over here that triggered people in, possibly got them stopped out. Just have a look. No, should potentially still be in this, unless we've got stopped out before. No, still in this, I think. If you took it, Kiwi Swissy heading up to target, it should be good. Kiwi yen is not really great shakes at the moment, so let's see what happens there. It might just be a pullback. Let's have a look if this did a retracement to a key level. Yep, to the 618. That's interesting. Sorry, the 50 fib level. Let's see what happens there. Aussie Kiwi, too choppy. Just generally just too choppy. Up and down and up and down, up and down. Very volatile. It's trying to break through this level. And it's not a great thing to trade right now, so pass on that. Aussie CAD, looking bullish actually. There's a good setup today. Disregards the high test, looking good. Obviously we had a bit of a gap last night, so the gap has become the new normal. Let's just see what we've got. We've got a number of different levels to break through. This is a key one where we are right now. So let's let it break through that. Potentially if you don't want to take this one, then take the next one. But yeah, it's looking good. Aussie Swissy. Gee, I wonder which way we want to go here. Okay, there's no income generator setup on this, but it is looking really good. So keep an eye out there. We've obviously just broken through key levels. That's looking fabulous. That's really good. So yeah, we'll be looking long. We might might have price come back to retest this, but that's looking great. Aussie yen. Yep. Okay, we've got a level we've got to break through here, and there's no setup anyway on this. So yeah, guys, that's all looking good. Here we go. Here's the US dollar index. Interesting to see it. It looks as though it's pulled back. It's looking slightly bearish, and yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. It's going through indecision just like the euro, so there's clearly a lot going on. Now let's see what happens. They'll be waiting for news out of Europe, but there's some income generator setups coming out, and then my advice is to take profit at this level here, at this envelope. Just set your entry, just set your target there, your limit target there at 94.77, and just take it at that point. It does change the risk reward ratio, but your likelihood of hitting profit before price kind of wanders for 3 days and then turns around and hits your stop is looking pretty good. So yeah, that's just my advice. If you want to, you can take them for shorter periods of time, 2-3 days, you should hit targets, and at least you're banking those profits, and it makes up for some recent losses. Alright, thanks. Have a good week, guys.